Imagine seeing the vastness of the Grand Canyon, hearing the rush of Niagara Falls, drinking Kona coffee in Hawaii, seeing Old Faithful Geyser, seeing chickens run wild in Key West. I was blessed, and I have much gratitude, that I was able to experience all of these things and more after traveling to all 50 states. And so, fellow Toastmasters, today I want to explain why I chose that goal, how I did it, how it may help others, and how you can reach your goals. So the first is why? Why would somebody do that? Why would somebody take the goal of visiting all 50 states? Well, it started about 8 years ago when I turned 50. And when I turned 50, I know you were all over 50, I said, if not now, when? If not now, when? Time is short. There's a specific window of healthful time that you have. So I decided this is going to be my year to knock off those bucket list trips. So the first trip I did, or one of the first I did, is I went to Alaska with my friend Patricia and my friend Barbie. And we flew to Anchorage, and then we went on the Alaska Railroad, and we went down to Kenai Fjords, and that's one of the few places that you can see fjords in the world outside of Norway. And then we went up to Denali National Park, and we saw glaciers, we saw salmon. We played many, many hours of Scrabble in the train, looking out the window. And it was meaningful to me because unfortunately Patricia passed from cancer a few years after that. So I'm thankful that I had that trip. And I did a few other trips, but the main why of it was that I had the time. I was working for LexisNexis at the time. I had a lot of PTO at that point, having worked there for 25 years. I didn't have any spouse or kids to consider, so I thought, this is it, I'm gonna do it. And then when the pandemic hit, I traveled with my friend Scott, and we went to Las Vegas. And I remember it was March 12th of 2020, and it was business as usual when we got there. But slowly that week, we rented a car, things were closing. We went to restaurants, we're closed. Sorry, we're closed. And by the time that we got back to Las Vegas a week later to fly back, everything was shut down. And you think that with the pandemic, that would be a shutdown of travel, but actually expanded because there's nothing else to do. So in October, just drove out west again, or flew out west again. And so that's the why of it. The why of it is that I didn't want to waste any more time. I wanted to make these travel dreams come true. So how about the how? How did I do it? Well, of course, you heard me say plane. Took a plane out to Anchorage. We took the train, the Alaska Railroad. When we flew to Hawaii, we did a cruise ship around the islands, the Hawaiian Islands. But my favorite way to travel is just to get in the car and go. Just start driving. No airports, no TSA, just get in the car and go. I'm sure like many people, I've traveled with family, I've traveled with friends, but that's a lot of coordination. So for me, especially since I retired and other people are not retired, I said, I'm gonna travel solo. So I traveled to Maine, drove to Maine by myself, down to Key West. I went to Glacier National Park. And it's blissful for me just to drive, listen to podcasts, go on my own schedule. So that's how I do it. I don't plan too much ahead. I just start driving, and then whenever I want to stay for the night, I go on to Expedia or Booking.com and put in hotels near me, and boom, that's it. So that's how I like to do it. And then, but you think that's kind of a selfish goal, just to travel 50 states. Like, how is that benefiting anybody else? So I thought, well, I'm gonna share my travels on social media. So I posted it to my friends on Facebook, and they actually said, well, thank you for taking us along with you. Because they said, I'm not gonna be able to do that. And thank you for sharing. I felt like I was with you. I felt like now I know places to go, where to stay. So that's the how of it. And that's the why I think it benefits others. So in conclusion, fellow Toastmasters, I would encourage you, if you have a travel goal or some other goal, remember, if not now, when? Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.